that my Father has made, I will rejoice. Jah, I thank you for this morning. Oh, it's a brand new day. Little bird, they thank him as they sing. So let's all get down and pray.
Good night, Teacher and the Prof fans. Welcome to another episode of Teacher and the Prof. And as usual, here with me, my co-host, Prof. What's up, Prof?
Yeah, no. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us again. Another Teacher and the Prof journey. Welcome.
Okay, yeah, welcome indeed. So tonight, we're going to focus on recent happenings and changes in Jamaica. And what we're going to look at tonight is the bill, the FLA, the firearm, and some changes by the government, mainly to reading the guns and make it tougher for illegal firearm holders and users to exist amongst us, creating a deterrent, you may say, Prof. We're trying.
Yeah, hopefully to create a deterrent to hopefully cut down on on crime in the country. However, we have come across legal firearm holders who are concerned about the current bill that is in front of the House. And this week we saw the current chairman of the FLA, making some claims of what the previous board did. So for us, we're not firearm holders, but we know we have friends who are legal firearm holders, and they are concerned, and so we kind of wanted to address the issue and have a conversation on it.
Mainly in food for thought questions. Don't know the facts because sometimes at this stage of the bill goes to Parliament and it's got to be amended and debate and amend before the even if it's passed in the lower house, before it go to the Senate in the upper house, it might debate again and reference, and we don't know how it's going to turn out. But the intent at the end of the day should be tougher penalty for illegal firearms. But the legal firearms holders are asking some questions.
And rightfully they should. And so we kind of want to discuss the bill. We want to discuss the legal firearm holders' concern regarding the bill. And we also want to touch upon the what's going on within the FLA and
the issue
previous
but to start, the intent of the government with this new bill is to increase the current charges
and jail time as well
to life imprisonment.
I think 30 years?
30 years to life, I think. I'm sure I'll hear something about life.
I know it was 30 years, but 30 years is considered life,
Life. Especially if you're an adult. My gosh. What you want, that is what is current on the table, 30 years. Now, remember, this is not new charges. This is an increase, right? So they're not just saying, oh, we're going to start to charge people for a firearm. They're going to increase the number of years. However, it gets some of the legal firearm owners nervous. I can't say what is the range of the current charge for illegal possession of firearm, but
I think it was 15.
15. So why is the question I pose to you, Prof? Since you spoke to some of the firearm holders, why is 15 years not Coffee, one month in prison for me, is too many, We say 1 month a day. A day. Why 15 years wouldn't make them nervous, but 30 years would make them nervous and start asking some good questions, But there's nothing else changing in the law apart from the sentencing, right? But the charge still remains. Tell us some of the concerns that them have with this 30 years and the possibility that it might cut them in the neck also.
Well, concern is for them is so if let's say for instance so for those who don't know, so you have to renew your firearm license every year on your birthday.
Just like a driver's license.
Just a driver license.
Apart from the driver's license every 5 years, but on your birthday.
Right. And let's say for instance, you didn't get to renew your firearms license when it expired, for whatever reason it is.
Right?
And you then on your way to renew your license.
After expiry date.
After that has expired, you are stopped. A traffic stop.
Yeah.
Right? And they decide to search a vehicle.
I asked the polite question, are you a firearm holder? Yes, I am. Are you a licensed firearm? Do you have a license? Yes. However, said expired yesterday or 2 days ago. What's the fear with an answer like that?
Right. So if you're found with your licensed firearm which has expired, you can be charged for illegal possession of a firearm.
Because it's a current license, up-to-date license that makes it legal.
So that's where people are concerned about that. I guess they weren't concerned before because, I don't know, maybe they thought a 15-year sentence was of no concern. I'm not saying that. For me, a day is 1 day too much for me.
All right, we could try to explain. The man them frantic with the bill of 30 years. So it asks me, if you start asking them the question, what is it? Why you never fearful before? So one of them said something about the last renewal in January. Let's repeat what him said about. He did it on the last day. He did it actually on his
birthday.
So if something should happen on that day and couldn't do it, and have to do it the day after his birthday, one of two things. You have to leave the firearm at home and travel without it because he has no license, or take the risk and carry it with him.
Well, so the procedure is you can renew your firearm 30 days prior to the expiration date or on the day that it has expired, right? Your birthday, right?
30 days on up to 30 days before. Yeah.
So now when you're renewing your
did you get an answer from this unnamed friend that why would he take a chance to go on the day and he had 30 days before that to
all right, let's put it out there. Let's say for instance something happens. The person fell ill and was in the hospital for
probably even before the
X amount of days, months, weeks, whatever, right? And can now only renew their license when they're out of the hospital. Or let's say, for instance, something happened and they had to take a trip. They planned on renewing it on that day. However, something come up and they had to travel, and so when they came back, is when they had an opportunity to renew the license. And you have to travel with the weapon to renew it. You have to go to with the expired license. The money to pay for the license plus the actual firearm itself.
Okay.
You know, so situation that will exist. You know,
I take the discussion of the police in that case with that explanation for the police to buy that explanation.
well, I guess it depends on the police officer you encounter that day. You know what I mean? Because what if you encounter someone that's difficult? You know, because you might meet someone on a bad day.
Or somebody who's not really affair with the law. Some of them dumb, you know, in bright people clothes.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, when them dumb in a bright people clothes, they might appear brighter than what is required. And now we're running into trouble. Because you know, no way at all, but you are alone. And it was wrong and strong. And a lot of policemen are out there. Not only Jamaica, that I see a couple of them well when the citizen, you know, in America, pop them up with the law. Them can't even recite. The citizen, which part recite the law, and them have a clue what matter about.
Yeah, hey, there's nothing a policeman hate more than someone who knows the right, knows the law.
Yeah. So, but another fear is, that is one fear. Legal firearm can also come illegal when used improperly.
Right.
You draw it or fire it, and you didn't have good reason to.
Mr. Can I interject?
Uh-huh.
I just found something, so I want to read it. The government of Jamaica has tabled in Parliament proposed amendments to the Firearm Act, which recommends life imprisonment for people convicted of illegal possession of a firearm. Convicts are to serve no fewer than 15 years in prison before being eligible for parole.
That means 30 years and a half, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, so then they mention life and just say 30 years is considered life. Yeah. Wow. So, bam. A lot of people, a lot of firearm holders improperly use them like them the firearm in dance, take it out and fire shot.
Mm-hmm.
And policeman they behind and pat it on your shoulder and say, what that? And cut off it. Or you have some of the altercation and you pull it to intimidate them from
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, illegal possession. And worst thing though, when you're found in legal possession of firearm, you're also another charge is illegal possession of all the bullets they may have. You're the count now, 50 legal possession of firearm and 12 rounds of ammunition.
Yeah, that is true.
Each round have a different sentence.
Yes. You are charged for each round of ammunition.
And I said, Jesus, please. No, another fear of the legal firearm owner. If they should do something like that and step out of line, are they looking at life because now they are deemed illegally in possession of a firearm? That's another concern. We know that the tabling of the law to amend the amendment is not to target legal firearm holders, but criminals, you know, with guns. But if the law is not written carefully to exclude those, they can be really get caught up in the net legally. And if they are charged and the prosecutor throw that in, say, we are recommending life for the legal possession because the law say legal possession of firearm and didn't specify, you know, a lot of people would genuinely be scared of that possibility. So what do you think them should recommend? Somebody really put it to the government to make sure that bill for the amendment be specific in the intent, you know, who they are intending to capture.
Yeah, they really should do that because they really don't want, you don't want to have a person who legally attained their license to, spend time in prison because they
No,
didn't.
not spend time in prison or spend that amount of time in prison because they should spend time in prison, maybe.
If they didn't renew.
If they
No,
make error in judgment, then say,
by pulling their license firearm.
pulling them license fire, firing their license firearm,
No, no,
shoot.
no.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I mean they should. I'm not talking about
The lesser sentence.
yeah. I'm just talking about the ones who just didn't get a time to renew their license.
No, but that's true. Everybody now go no. Different specified for different acts have different charges layered.
Well,
yeah.
Yes, they should, but they should also not penalize someone who
For that specific one.
who didn't renew the firearm license, say within a certain. There should be a grace period.
Over the birthday. Over the experience.
Yeah, there should be a grace period. I mean, for someone not to renew their license 6 months after it has expired, I would consider a person negligent for not doing that. But a month, circumstances happen, because the process is to renew your license is simple. You show up with your, as you said, with your firearm, you have your license card, and you have what they call a fee certificate. So that's the money that you pay to renew it, right? And the process can take less than an hour, which I'm surprised because this is Jamaica we're talking about.
Yeah, because they moved from Worthington Terrace to a new location, a bigger and better facility and processing. I don't know if it was always on your birthday or stupidly everybody won't expire the same period like Transport Authority. I think they're proposing to do the different time, like let your 1 year start on the date of application. It's not so usually gonna you apply 2 months ago and then expire 2 months after because everybody won't end, I think, March 31st.
I guess I probably have too many people renewing at the same time.
And not too many. Everybody are renewed April 1. Every person. So every April, the Transport Authority have all a busman up there.
That's ridiculous. That's counterproductive.
It is madness. You cannot have an industry where everybody licensed up the same time.
Yeah.
I hear talk about that to change. Is that I change already and it slipped me? Or it is to be. But I know strong talk was from the government that they might go fix that because it make no sense.
No sense.
And maybe the firearm was something like that. Maybe I don't know. I'm not really into it.
Well, I should also mention that it's not even the feature in new air license is, I think it's reasonable. It's $12,000 for a handgun. I don't know how much it is for a rifle, but for a handgun it's $12,000, which for me is $100 US.
Wow, that's reasonable.
That's reasonable, I think, in my mind.
Wow.
Because that's about $100 US, or even less.
So if you're interested in firearm, $12,000 shouldn't be a case where you can't afford to renew it. You're not supposed to go to no courthouse because if you can't find $12,000 a year, you're not supposed to own a firearm.
Oh, there's another thing. Lost or stolen firearms could cost you millions or prison time.
Depends on your case. I know that Reverend Al Miller had a tough case when he got a big plum or something like that and leave the firearm in the car, and by the time he boops, somebody thief it. And this was after Dudu's incident. This happened to him. I never feel good about the explanation. I never want to assault him also. He does a drive and see plum and does so, wow, long time I plum. Fly out. If you go in the car, somebody just happen. Fifi, so almost have a gun in their car. I'll not look like him having gun on him. Make me look at the gun. Oh, the gun there, shops. And then they want to go to prison in Gateway. But nobody not buy it. Not even people them buy it. It does sound full. So we don't know what I'm doing gun. You know.
So what I just mentioned is coming from came directly out of the Jamaica Observer. Licensed gun owners who fail to report loss of stolen weapons to the police without reasonable excuse could, under the new firearms regime being proposed by lawmakers, face fines up to 10 times larger than the current penalties. I wonder what the penalty is.
Oh, so that's another side to the new amendment.
Yeah.
As guess what? They are finding that a lot of legal, or once upon a time, legal firearms are turning up in criminal activity. You know, see the case where I think we mentioned it before with the mobile case with Issa. Issa reported his guns missing, then reported his gun found. They wanted to do ballistic on it to see if it was
fired
or we have bullets that we can do some ballistic on it to see if it was used in any criminality. And he's not willing to turn it over to the court. I think we need to follow up that thought. These legal guns are rented out at times, depending on who owns them. So it will lead to another segment of something that we are learning, the issue license. Mm-hmm.
So I did find the fines. The current fine. So under the Firearm Act, which is to be repealed by the 2022 Firearm Prohibition Restrictions and Regulation Act, if a licensed firearm holder loses their weapon and fails to report it within 48 hours, there is a $100,000 fine or imprisonment of up to 1 year. However, the 2022 bill increases the penalty a maximum of $1 million.
How much years?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Just as a fine. It doesn't say if the imprisonment increase, but the fine does increase.
Okay. Interesting. 10 times. You don't feel a way about that because that's a very dangerous tool. You should know where it is at all time, and it should in your second nature. So if you're not using it on a regular, you have to check on a regular.
Oh, there's something more. Furthermore, a person who comes into possession of any firearm or ammunition which is lost or which they suspect or believe to be stolen is obligated to report the matter to the police within 24 hours as well. Someone who knows the whereabouts of a stolen weapon or ammunition is also under the same reporting obligation, the law says.
So when I was a teenager, I was in possession of a one
pop?
one bullet. Five.
Oh, a bullet. You get like a one pop.
No, not a gun, but a bullet. And my brother and I took it over ourselves to say, and we never know, so we're in illegal possession of someone, and if caught with it and not report as soon as we find it, we are liable to be charged. So what we did was to try to fire it outside of a gun with a Phillips screwdriver as the hammer, and a hammer as the hammer, a claw hammer. So the Phillips at the point of contact with the bullet, right in the center there.
Yeah.
And the hammer and a pliers, a very big pliers to hold the bullet.
Hold the bullet.
Steady. So one oldest bullet, which is I, and my brother hold the Phillips screwdriver and the hammer.
And the hammer.
And we rest it on a old fridge compressor. Hold it. And it went like this. And it did fire.
Yeah, Mikey.
Yeah. Can't be me and nobody else.
Yo, it would have to be Mikey.
That's your limitation, God. About 5 years now.
Sorry.
A story I tell now. Can't charge again.
Ay.
Yeah, man, we fired that man. It went over Junior them house. Through the trees.
Where it go?
Through the trees.
Oh, so in their backyard.
We there, the backyard.
Oh.
When I don't know so many tension they hold it up. Maybe I want it point at impact, it go up.
It shift.
And it chip them out. The suspension chip up all the man in it. Come on, it so.
Yeah.
And the ear so. And ear so. Cut up. The two side cut up.
Shit.
So. Yeah.
So you tell them,
Eh?
what story you tell them mother when she say Ann?
No, man, should I say that, man? I'm a big teenager, man. I'm going to show mother them something.
No, she wouldn't. I mean, it's just the way you address it.
No, man. Remember, she stopped being a long time, so she not going to see it.
It's about being intimate. It's about when you put on your Mercury coma, the purple dressing.
No, man.
You hide the purple dressing.
No, but tough it out, man.
Okay.
No, man, you just admire it, you know.
You bought the scars?
Yeah, we just admire it, man. I just go and hide it. I hide the story, and I listen for hearing nobody dead. Go, over the.
Over in the house?
Yeah, you know. Yes. Yes, you're going to get shot. Don't go bow to, you know. Bow! We tackle through the trees, you know.
Damn.
A whole heap of leaf, man.
So you hear the travel?
We hear the leaf, man. Touch up. And you know, so we take ourselves. Because we always take ourselves. Some things we want to do, me and that boy, though. You know. Yeah.
But you know.
When else? No, I said we just never know, say, according to the law, we were not to play with it, and we were in, after not reporting it over 48 hours, we're now in illegal possession of a firearm. I guess it wasn't illegal until the 48 hours.
Illegal possession of ammunition.
Ammunition. Whoa. Not those big boys, ammunition. But I guess it turned it illegal 48 hours after discovering it.
Yeah. And not reporting it.
And it get worse by trying to fire it. What we do now? We discharge
ammunition. Discharge of ammunition.
Me don't know if that the way we do it, if it has ever a charge has ever brought to court, they say, where's the gun?
Or was it discharge?
Oh God. I see the prosecutor said a Barbie pliers.
Phillips
screwdriver and a car. And by the kind of compressor, and it was the rest of the compressor.
Evidence.
So now, them I wonder now if them can constitute all of those tools a gun together. And legal minds are work now on whether we can deem it to be
charge of everything.
So one lawyer probably saying that the fact that it can use to discharge, it is a gun, because a gun by definition is the tool that use that apparatus that is used to discharge a bullet.
Right, but the next I can argue that it doesn't have a hammer, it doesn't have this.
And then the other one I said, no, the last specific said a gun is and find something else to define a gun.
As a hammer, it has a chamber, it has this, that.
That and back and forth in. But we don't get famous though if we do go court. Cause
as anyone well, we don't know. I've never heard of the story that anyone been injured that way or even.
No, that must probably the first case, maybe, of these two lunatics.
Yes, president.
Yeah, we have to hear, and it's a case study now, and people know that we do a job back feet in the 80s and say the case, Ray Ray versus Ray Ray, 86, you know, and the judge ruled that it was a gun.
Yes, it's on case study.
So you don't have to have a pipe iron or a plastic iron. You don't have to have an angle. You don't. We get famous for life, you know.
For all the wrong things.
2E that was shot the thief, what thief man go to the people in backyard. Oh, I say, Your Honor, we not get the credit for kill the thief.
Excessive force.
No credit, no time off. You know,
excessive force, brother.
But you see people in a teach and the prof land. So when I laugh now, when it happen, I never laugh, you know. My art, my art, the part, you know. Because we never expect it.
Fortunately, we can. Yeah, we never. You know, he didn't think that experiment would work.
No.
It's not as if you maliciously attempted to discharge. You know, it was an experiment.
No, and we thought that this would be a big failure. Well,
right.
Laughed.
So you guys were actually doing a physics.
Yeah.
And
I can come here and tell you that it works, so don't try it.
Right. No, you know.
That's what Ninja Man saying take coke for telling people him.
Not to take coke?
I'm gonna look at him stupid. Can't guess why I'm looking at him stupid. Because there's a lot of cases out there that we can refer to.
Yeah, but your case different. We never know.
Yeah, our one was first. Ninja Man, I come over long years like that people try and feel and talk about it and
look how long we watch Scarface.
So when he comes saying take the coke for teaching people, I say, yeah. But in our case, we honestly was trying to see if this thing can work. And yes, it works. And there's nobody who need to reinvent the wheel. You know, we were lucky. You might not be lucky because you don't have the same luck. So and the charges are up. So it's not a good time to try it.
Worst time to try. And those days were innocent days.
Oh gosh.
You know. Good old days.
I mean, I know my brother leave a bullet behind, you know. It was a legal bullet. But I don't know, the police force, I don't know if a range.
Listen, they were lax. Police procedures were lax in those days. Not as
if a range or the force never check out the bullet them good. I don't know, but one bullet was left behind. And he migrate, resign and migrate. Okay, people might say, oh, me get in contact with them. Yes. And
then if you know that. Then if you don't implicate no more people in their body. Don't implicate nobody else.
That's your limitation. And the bullet was left behind. We'll find it. What shall we do with this one?
I'm brethren. When you selfish stone, you never even call with me and Chris. But then you never call with you.
No, we never want the story to go around.
But that's what I'm glad you never call me.
Yeah, one man tell him tell the wrong man. It's the police are come knock. You know what's him, man?
No, man, I said call me so we can watch the experimenting process.
What man, I know.
Next thing you hang go sleep. I wanna wait.
He got spin around so.
That's no you have an audience. Yo.
Me and the bullet still no. Come at about no mother, no sister, no. I know the bullet owner don't know. He might watch my friend.
No.
Yes, you left one and it was fired.
Hey,
we hit the target, the tree chunk. Why? No tree chunk, but she fly through the leaf them. But And first thing come to my mind,
Yeah.
honestly, after discharging it, was Junior.
Him being in the backyard?
Yeah, and two ingredients probably in our mango tree or something.
I'm a thief. Thief that.
Well, technically, but him,
Yeah.
my brother said, suppose somebody in that tree, me say, Junior.
Yeah. Junior.
I always look something, so I walk on the
Yeah, man, the also do that. I don't come on my yard. He made up the mango tree. So
I always look at the mango tree. So at first, he was so okay. Suppose somebody in that tree. I show them my tree. I said, Junior. And when I said to Junior, tell them, said, Junior, the ball I would knock out, man. Oh, we're lucky. Yeah, man. Lucky.
But you notice once the government made that statement, all these stories started to come out of the woodwork. Come to light that there are people out there who should not have been issued, firearms license.
The $1 million come back again, up to $1 million can give a good, where they qualify fee, but up to $1 million can make you qualify.
Yeah, so now it's coming to light that there are many people, many firearm holders out there who should not have attained a firearm license.
Darling said over 200, and to me, I was a firearm holder, and I said over 200 of such holders should not have. He called one. I don't make you up a different story, but he mentioned to a celebrity artist, Jack Cure.
Jack Cure is a convicted rapist.
Say at first, man, say firearm was in play too. Him get charged for that too. I just a rape part we know about.
Him get charged for firearm too?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, man.
And was issuing the firearm license after. 15
years in get.
It was more. It said that ran concurrently then.
Yeah, it was more than rape. Yeah, and him come off with some behavior thing too, and very. So Jack Cure shouldn't have. Jack Cure applied. Jack Cure was denied. Then Jack Cure was given a provisional permit or provisional approve. I didn't get the permit. Then here Jack Cure license. I never get it in. Darling say he was given because he was one of the 200 people who receive license that shouldn't have. That's what Darling said. Choose a gun. He received. However, the explanation is that he was turned down. Them appeal. Them provisionally approve it. But before he could have received a license, because back in them days, the license wasn't 1 hour, or 2 or 3 days. It was a hard task. Jack Cure came in the media, or the media carrier news that he misbehaved, and these are the explanations that come out of the farmer chair board,
Yeah.
That some incident took place before the license was issued. To his behavior and mannerism and rare. And then they meet and say, you know what, him not learn a lesson from the prison sentence, I don't think we should have fought. After the police advise them not to, police advise them not to. But they were going to go against that and say the man reform, my artist, man make money, he might live a new different life, he probably married at the time, and very. But he mess up in the media, pick it up and them say, no, what? Him learn the lesson, make an approved, and that was withdrawn.
So, you're saying that in Jamaica, a convicted felon
not
can
supposed
apply for?
Not supposed to. I guess it's not supposed to. That's why
why were they in a situation where they're considering?
Yeah, but this is our friend there, what's his name?
Darling? No, arrogant man. Dennis Meadows.
Dennis Meadows, the former deputy chair. Dennis Meadows became deputy chair 2016 after the Angela government won the 2016, February 2016 general election. So he was appointed to the new board thereafter. So a lot of foolishness happened during Dennis Meadows' short stint, brother.
Short stint, yeah.
One of such is his brother-in-law, his wife's brother. So his wife's brother got deported from the United States. Not sure of the reason behind the deportation. However, he's back. In 2015, he applied for a firearm. He was denied. And he was denied because the background check, he did not mention that he was deported on the application. So it was denied. So basically, let them say I'm lying. After the 2016 general election and Meadows became of the board, the brother-in-law of Meadows sent a letter. They said they send it to appeal board, which is the next step to send it to appeal board to appeal it. I guess probably not a letter, it probably has a form or some formal thing. Say appeal it. The non-approval. But he wrote a letter. Some aspect of the letter was written right, stating that he was immature then and he never really lie by omission and just overlook, and he's a phase in life in America where he used the word try to expunge from his mind, and because he might try to expunge it or he did expunge it from the mind, that resulted in failure to declare. And that letter was signed by somebody, reached the hand of the board, and Dennis Meadows and two other board members didn't even take it to the appeal process and said, look at this and see if, they never signed it. It was signed, the approval was given the same day the letter was received. Remember now, FLA have backlog them time then. Backlog of
people wait, how much, how long?
Backlog of application, backlog of appeal. And this man sent a letter, and the same day the letter pulled and read, and the same day that the man and gather and approve it. And skip everybody. And he said this on Thursday, that is yesterday, out of his mouth. This is not a guesting, this was an interview. I heard it on Nationwide with Cliff Hughes. And I said, why this man talking? Because on Tuesday, after Shane Darling did a press conference about the condition of FLA as some what them do, review or audit or something of the application process. Meadows' name called in that press conference. So Meadows was invited for it, on the program, an interview about the incident and how it was, I'm associated with the whole thing. He sent a statement. Instead of coming for the interview, he said that his lawyer advised him against the interview on Tuesday. However, on Thursday, he did the interview. And even during the interview, somebody called me and he take call and come back and I said, bet to him lawyer call and say, why are you on the air sending yourself to prison?
He's incriminating himself?
Of course he did. Because what him saying can't take back now, What him said on air about, well, in Bible say it's not corruption, it's nepotism. Because that's a clear case of nepotism, but there are other claims, because the Jackie one, him try to claim the Jackie one, I not hear Darling rebuttal to it, because he say Jackie will never get a license. Jackie, and at them dismiss Jackie application and Jackie dismissing own application by some incident when do while them are going to finalize it now. Jackie do something and they say, you know what, him not. So it's not even their doings. An investigation is Jackie smear them own progress where the license concerned. So I think them should still hold them for that provisional, hold them accountable for that provisional approval, because if Jackie never do something silly that makes the media, they would have given him a license. They would have given him a license because other investigation never go on. I just course now if the process to take the course and give.
Yeah, and I guess he was trying to use nationwide medium to, you know, to bring to light, I guess, incriminating evidence against the current board.
Yeah, because what happened, I think after the press conference on Tuesday, Darling made nationwide, I think, on the Wednesday. So Darling do an interview, so he must do one. No, him feel, you know, that it never happened Tuesday. You know, I go against the will of Malaya. I have to talk because he's an attacker.
Yeah, he is, and he's very arrogant.
Yeah.
And he acts as if he's self-righteous.
So the incident.
And how dare you sully my name?
So to the point where Crystal Hamilton, which was.
Wait, before you get to that though, let me read something that he said on Nationwide. But and when I said he, I'm talking about Dennis Meadow, right? Dennis Meadow. So he said, as recently as last week, an acquaintance of mine paid $1.3 or $135,000. No, $1,350,000 to an emissary of one of FLA directors and obtain a firearm license in a record time of 2 months. Further, those who are denied the application for firearms are contacted by said emissary and invited to lodge $6,000 US to a Caymanian and US account. One such account belongs to a family member of a senior head at FLA. I will have more to say on these scores.
All right. I heard him.
Oh, yeah.
I heard him live. And that. But what brought to mind, Darling does not sign. Darling is not on the board. Darling is the administrator and the board. So he's not accusing Darling of corruption, you know.
He's accusing the board.
Yeah, but him accused Darling said it's his responsibility to clean up, and it's not clean. Because the same thing that he's ascribing to the Meadows co-chair board. It's the same thing's happening now, and I have proof that it's still happening now. So
yeah.
So the PNP jump up now and said, Meadows move Darling.
Wait, what did PNP say?
The PNP under specifically Peter Boutin said that on an official call from the PNP is that Darling stepped down because he has not achieved anything that he set out to achieve in terms of getting rid of corruption.
So is that their modus operandi every time? Because they did the same thing with the Commissioner of Police.
It just trying too hard to make an impact. How can a man be spelling out all the corruption and digging up and doing audits and you say, because it's still a go on. You know what people in Lego, Darling Lego? In fire some, in encourage the beef. When the man about them they're involved. Him say it's still everybody to him, it's like everybody involved with it.
Right, because it seemed to be widespread.
And the mabwa.
Yeah, but remember no. Meadows was a PNP appointment?
No. Andrew. Both of them are Andrew's appointment.
The Meadows was under the PNP?
No. was 2000. I'm tell you 2016 after the 2016 February 2016 general election. He was appointed as
March 2016.
Yeah, and the election was February.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So Darley no care about made us put him X and affiliate him with his attack. Must do him work. As a bigger photo, made us do my work. No one no guy come tell me nothing. I just work, me I work. So
hey, did you know that the bill that seeks repeal of act also seeks to immunize FLA board members for any legal action, suits, or prosecution in the execution of their statutory duties.
wow. So it include them too.
Yeah.
So it a reach the right places, man. Everybody have to drop them sacks, you know. I want to pass, man.
No, it says it seeks to immunize them. That means
Immunize them.
Immunize them, protect them.
Oh, protect them.
Yeah.
Why am I here it has include them?
They're being
presently they are. Is that question? Is there anything presently in the current act that mention them being prosecuted for it, or it not dead, but they might make sure say
it's there.
It's there that they are protected. It could be something, but why would you do that?
Yeah, knowing that their corruption is right.
Yeah. I mean, well, I've not heard anybody spoke of that. What you just read. First, may I even hear it?
This was part of the nationwide.
No, I never hear it. Nobody don't argue about that part, but I think it should. One of the points that should.
I'm gonna forward it to you now.
I think so it should leave to the courts interpretation of what happened. Don't grant them no immunity. Why though? If they suspect something, make the police investigate, carry to the DPP. DPP see it fit, say yes, it's worthy of arrest. Arrest them and make the court decide.
Yeah,
don't condemn some police are going to tie the police hand. That never do. Tie Mocha hand. I don't think so. I think so. Mocha for running.
Yeah.
Man can have $1.35 million. Expedite gun license not 3 months and all those things, and we don't know who will get it. We don't know who have it. So look on your dear friend, your classmate brother. License for one, you have 4. And about 1 gun.
And he is a deportee as well.
Crazy. And you tell me say the staff of FLA must be immune from prosecution. Man, they must strike out that.
And I'm surprised that is included in the bill.
Somebody will write that bill for the FLA.
Yeah, that sounds like
Are they protecting meadows? Could be, though.
Could be.
And the chair, which there's a chairman, you know. I mean, not to the present chairperson, which the name slipped me, you know. Got two them in the media. Dennis Meadows, chairperson in the media, and the current chairperson not in the media. I just darling about the CEO.
Yeah,
and
CEO.
And Meadows, the deputy chair, and them in the media. So forgive me if I'm forgetting everybody else's name. But the present chairman, since when the PNP said Darling must go, him come out and say back Darling 100%. Him back Darling work.
The current chairman.
Current chairman. So then the criticism start coming from PNP and say something wrong. You know, and them keep doing these things. So even to the I look on favorability rate at Golden. Golden I try too hard to be. He's trying too hard to be article. He
Yes.
don't article to do the right thing.
Yeah, he's trying so hard to be one of the people that he comes off fake.
So now in favorability rate is 17%.
Damn. All that work?
All that work, and you know, say the false thing now work. The pat attacking where you just learn now work. Despite say you speak better because you try so long now you speak a little better, but we still know say I know you that.
Yeah,
I mean the man them on the corners. I mean them it now work.
Listen, people aren't stupid. People are not blind or stupid. People, you can know when someone is not is not being genuine or they're trying too hard.
He might try too hard, and for Andrew to be better, Andrew need to see Golden gaining some traction from the Jamaican people, so that him Andrew can job him sacks higher.
Yeah, because he
the sacks roll down, you know. Andrew sacks roll down like when ball game don't play.
Yeah, tired and at the end of the ball game. And
yeah, I saw Andrew got you no. Me see it. Andrew sacks down, I'm ankle. Him shank guard come out. And if I bet you shank guard, I'm Andrew start play with. Cause him now prepare for no injury. Cause him now a battle. Him need to go back in a battle mode.
Yeah.
In the position, you know. I mean, I don't know. Because every successful governance of a country, you need a strong opposition.
Yeah. But I agree to that.
For good governance. And you need the people who are the real vanguard of the whole thing, you know. We're weak too, you know. We not do our work, you know.
No, because constantly voting the wrong people.
Yeah.
Or that holding these officials
accountable.
You know?
I vote for no. At the better, the worse, you know. So we know so we start below the line, the bar. But we still can hold whosoever win accountable. Because I remember saying, no, at 40 and 30% of voting, it's minority. I make a decision.
Right. A minority put the government in play.
Out of the 30% vote, how much I vote for the person in? So when you even drill it down look further, how much percent vote for the winner? You talk about something like 20%, 21%, 22% out of the 38%. So it's rough. At 28% of people, I tell you, say that person to make the decision for all of us.
Have you heard anything with all this amendment going on and things coming out in the media about the wrong people being issued firearms? Have you heard anything at all mentioning making the process easier or the appeal any easier for people who were denied firearm?
To tighten up FLA? No.
I mean, you have legitimate business owners who have been waiting for years to be issued a license firearm. People who have been waiting have lost their life to gunmen.
The Chinese person that lost their life for the Chinese family and himself, the male, is he qualified because of nationality? Because I'm not sure if he's a Jamaican.
Yeah. I mean, for him to even apply in the first place, you would have to have Jamaican nationality, right? I would assume.
That may I think, because it's a Chinese national. That's what the news say. The Chinese.
As we know, the news sometimes don't do the
homework.
investigating or the homework properly.
On here, or it could be national,
or
naturalized.
well, I know China don't allow dual citizenship.
Oh, so maybe money do it.
They don't. From what I've read, because of the Olympics, some of the American citizens were now competing for China had to give up their American citizenship.
Some classification that come on an expat. I'm not temporarily here. I don't know all the Chinese people them set up. I don't know how for them set up one now.
Yeah, that is a good observation.
Oh yeah, all them coming.
They can it's hard. They buy land, right?
Yeah.
Set up this.
Yeah, we don't know. And maybe it's easy to come in and do business. The man probably feels same suppose he can get that done.
I mean, they seem to have a free run at things, or they seem to get things done very quickly in Jamaica.
But apparently, him, I don't know if others have gone, but he was denied. Under what rules? I don't know why he was denied.
Right.
But guns don't save you. If him they have a gun, he probably will end up the same thing because it's not an automatic.
No, it doesn't. I mean, not that mean he would still be alive. I mean, we saw the other day, or this week, where a policeman, they ride on a policeman and shot him and took his firearm. I guess they took his bike as well, right?
So, ain't a guarantee. So,
this is a policeman.
Police train. A lot of people make that leap. If you get the firearm, this will not happen.
I mean, listen, maybe not, because we have seen videos of, we don't know what the situation is, but we've seen video of people approaching. I've seen a video recently of someone approaching a vehicle, knocking on pull his firearm out of his waist. He kept knocking on the glass of the vehicle. There's a pickup truck, big pickup truck. Look at probably on the F-150. And so I guess while he was knocking, the man was getting his gun. That took him a while too. And he pulled the door open and started firing.
No,
so.
I would say that's not automatic. But I saw one in America where there's security video pick up two men and a woman. The woman have the gun in her back her waist. It's supposed to be a concealed. I think it's a concealed state. May I read say it's supposed to be a concealed weapon.
Right.
But the angle was exposed in the center or near the center of the waist. The back.
Smaller for back. Yeah.
And she argue and argue, the other one look on the gun. And when the other one walk up and pull a store door like I should, go towards him, and her back was kind of fully turned to the other one now and comes up. But when him jaw, he miss. So I'm not enough to push her down. Because him jaw look like it I must want tight punch in, so it's not easy to come out. But the angle when him pull it never easy to come out. Yeah. Him first come so I end up push her down on the ground and him wrestle her and take it out. And she not gone now. He never kill her luckily. He just take it.
So rob the robber.
Rob her the gun. So everybody know if you use gun.
I've never heard of anyone being robbed of the gun in America. I mean, they rob you and take your gun, but gun is so easy to acquire that nobody rob gun.
No, opportunity. Him see the idiot with the gun, him take it.
Oh, well, that's true.
Why this woman have a gun and make everybody know she have a gun? She an idiot. Just take that from her. Yeah. Yeah. And no, today she's not going to be an idiot anymore. Hopefully, she learned from it. She's no idiot again. No. I intimidate you just want to feel big. A man tell me that, I don't know if you ever practice it or hear it. I'm not talking about gun. I'm going to say, once I chew, I say, hold the gun in your hand and see if one no come over you feel.
No, he is correct because I've experienced that before. Listen, let me tell you something. It is like being a Jamaican in foreign.
Like when you just land.
You're the baddest thing ever.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share our videos. And don't forget to comment
and hit that notification bell.
This has been another episode of Teach and the Prof.